Hello, welcome to the Moon Scarab channel. My name is Ramon. On this video, we will explore the Oracle of the Mexican Lottery. We will go over the positive, neutral, and negative meanings as they apply to all 54 cards. You will also see its analog correspondence to the Tarot and Lenormand oracles. Please pause the video at any time to make notes, and feel free to watch it as many times as necessary. This is not about memorizing, it's about understanding, and from there you will develop your own style on how to read the cards. We all have the potential and skill to tap into the divine realm. It's just a matter of learning, applying what you learn, and believing with all your heart in what you do. Let's get started. What is the Mexican Lottery? The Mexican Lottery is a game similar to bingo that is played with a deck of cards instead of numbers. The game is composed of individual playing boards with images arranged in different order, as well as a deck of cards made of 54 different images of objects and characters. As a bingo game, it dates back to the early 19th century. The game has two components: the players, with individually arranged panels used as bingo boards, and the second component is someone who calls the images from the deck. However, this deck of 54 images has been used for esoteric and divination purposes. In it, we see similar archetypes we find in the Tarot and Lenormand systems. For example, similar figures that exist between the Mexican Lottery and the Tarot are the world, the star, the sun, death, the devil, and the heart. With Lenormand, we see similarities with the tree, the woman, the heron, the fish, the ship, etc. There is no consolidated agreement about the meaning of the cards. Each person who uses them for divination purposes has his or her personal meaning for each one of the cards. However, I will share with you my interpretation of the positive, neutral, and negative meanings of each card and how similar they are to the Tarot and Lenormand system. Let's get started.
1. The Rooster. Solar symbol, the rooster is the bird of the morning, representing vigilance and activity. The rooster sings when the skies are still dark, announcing the imminent arrival of light. The image of the rooster represents a call for attention to unexpected situations or realities. On a positive side, it represents news, a new awakening, a fresh start, or paying attention to something. On a negative side, a rooster can reflect something in your life that is disturbing your sleep or peace of mind. Also, a possible warning that you're late for something. It can also represent treason. Remember that the rooster crowed 3 times before Peter denied Jesus. Analog energy, the Judgment card from the Tarot. 2. The Little Devil. In a less negative sense, it represents mischief, a misdeed, or a prank. In a more negative sense, it represents a toxic person or situation. Negativity, evil, negative temptations, the dark part of a person, anger, envy, jealousy, overwhelming ambition, and all the negative feelings and actions that people exert on others and on themselves, and that totally control you. It can also reflect a negative person or situation that feels inescapable or is hurting you on purpose. It is feeling that someone or something takes away your peace and that is intentionally imposed on you. Analog energy, the Devil card from the Tarot. 3. The Lady. This card represents a specific woman or feminine energy without reference to gender, such as intuition, introspection, and reception. Feminine energy are all the traits that nurture the need to connect with human beings in a meaningful and fulfilling way. It is a compassionate, kind, empathetic, patient, and emotional energy. It's about embracing your intuition and creativity. Analog energy, the High Priestess card from the Tarot. 4. The Dandy. This card, called El Catrín, which means dandy, was a term used for men who dress elegantly and were of high social class. The main characteristic of these people was that they loved to show it off. In a neutral aspect, it can represent a specific man, elegance, or masculine energy without reference to gender. In a negative sense, it represents false appearances, pretense, arrogance, the mask and false appearance of a person that, although elegance comes first on the outside, deep inside, it's a very grotesque person. Although this is represented with a man, it does not have gender, but an energy and an aspect. Analog energy, the man card for Lenormand, plus the moon card reversed from the tarot. 5. The umbrella. The umbrella represents emotional protection and caution from disappointments or uncertainties. It can reflect your tendency to endure an unpleasant or disappointing situation with a positive attitude. It reflects preparing for disturbing or sad moments, the ability to protect yourself from depression, pessimism, or being overwhelmed by a negative situation. The umbrella can be a sign that you're trying to stay positive during an unpleasant situation. In a negative sense, the umbrella card can represent imminent proximity of a strongly negative situation, totally unexpected, in which you require a quick solution. Analog energy, the 5 of Pentacles from the tarot, plus the Magician card from the tarot. Card 6. The Mermaid. In its positive context, it represents adaptation. Mermaids can be in and out of the water. It's conditioning to situations. In a neutral aspect, the Mermaid card can represent feelings of distrust in the face of something beautiful or pleasant. It can also represent situations that feel good but have something hard to trust about them. A wonderful experience with something fishy, friendly or interesting offers that seem suspicious. Now, in a negative aspect, it represents that appearance is not everything, that beauty can be dangerous because in mythology, mermaids manipulated sailors. Analog energy, the 7 of Cups from the tarot. 7. The Ladder. This image refers to the fact that we all have ups and downs in life and the potential to choose the direction of our lives. Climbing a ladder often represents improvement, achievement, or reaching higher levels of awareness and understanding. You are progressing emotionally, spiritually, or materially. It represents progress, growth, and achievements, but this driven or caused by yourself. If you notice, this is not an escalator. It is one in which you choose yourself if you want to go up or go down. It may be referring to a situation that makes you think more maturely or on a higher level. In a neutral sense, it might represent problems in not being able to progress in your life. Climbing a ladder can also symbolize a struggle or challenge that you must overcome in order to reach a higher level of understanding, success, or power. Going down the ladder often represents an emotional regression or worsening situation. But going down the ladder can also symbolize the easing of conditions when a challenge or struggle is over. You may be slowly working through challenges to get to a much more comfortable level. Analog energy, the Wheel of Fortune, plus the 8 of Wands cards from the tarot. 8. The Bottle. The meaning of the bottle is related to decision making. This card has different versions in the Mexican lottery. In some versions, we can see a tomato, also alluding to the verb to take in Spanish, and therefore it can be interpreted as decision making as well. In a positive sense, it's a choice. It represents an opportunity to do something and being in control. In a negative sense, it represents excesses, lack of control, vices, intoxicating ourselves with external things instead of looking for what we really need from within ourselves. Analog energy, the 2 of Wands, or the 2 of Swords cards from the tarot. 9. The barrel. Tequila and craft beers are usually stored and deposited in oak barrels. In a positive sense, this represents waiting, patience, perseverance, and persistence. In a negative sense, it might represent the delay of something, a long wait, postponing something for a long time, and even forgetting. Analog energy, the Seven of Pentacles card from the Tarot. The tree. The tree represents growth, life, physical and spiritual nurture, transformation, union, strength, love, protection, and rest. The tree card might represent an area in your life that is established, solid, that it's strong and stable. In a negative sense, it might represent a situation or a problem that is immovable, something that requires a lot of effort to remove, something that you can't root out. Analog energy, the tree card for Lenormand. The melon. It represents the sweet and pleasant things in life, good fortune, good health, and pleasant things coming to you. In a neutral sense, the translation from Spanish of the phrase tasting the melon means to see how a situation is. It's testing how things are, whether for better or for worse. In a negative sense, colloquially, being a melon means being silly, foolish, inept, or clumsy. This can be applied not specifically to a person, but as an energy or to a situation. Analog energy, the Six of Cups card from the Tarot, plus the Fool card inverted if negative. 12. The brave. In a positive sense, the brave is one who faces their own fears. It represents the confidence or willingness to face problems head on. You might know that something is going to be difficult or scary, and you tackle it anyway. Alternatively, you may feel very safe in accepting the worst of yourself or facing your fears. It's telling yourself that it's better to face your problems than put up with them. In a negative sense, it might represent a violent person or problems, lawsuits, arguments, or a very aggressive person or situation. It can represent an inner conflict or an unresolved issue. You may be doing something you don't believe in. The opposite of bravery is fear. It represents a situation in life that generates anxiety or scares you, beliefs about yourself that makes you feel small or powerless. It is insecurity that forces you to hide facts or act in a cowardly way. Fear of what others think of you that drives you to cover up your problems. A sign that you need to talk about your problems with people or seek advice to deal with your problems properly. To overcome your fears, discuss your problems with someone you trust and face them openly. Analog energy, the Seven of Wands card from the Tarot. 13. The beret. In a positive sense, it might represent a possible pregnancy or a baby's arrival. At a more complex level, it might be interpreted as delicate people or situations that require intense care, such as the care you would give a baby. It may be that your emotional capacity is needed to guide those things or people that you have a positive impact on. In a negative sense, it can reflect immaturity or a lack of experience on how to handle a situation. Sensitive issues that require a lot of attention and makes you feel overwhelmed just by dealing with it. It can reflect something or someone without experience. Analog energy, the Page of Pentacles, plus the Empress, plus the Fool cards from the Tarot. 14. Death. Death in any oracle inspires fear, but it's one of the most misunderstood topics that exist. On the contrary, death is a generally positive card because it represents transformation and evolution. It's a change of a cycle, a new stage, and renewal. Death represents casting off the old and receiving the new. Your personality or life situation is transforming. An area in your life has come to an end. An era has ended, or roles are changing. However, in a negative sense, it might represent physical or spiritual death, a failure or loss. It may also reflect your concern about another person's death or illness. Analog energy, the Death card from the Tarot. "15. The Pair. The pair represents waiting and patience. This card is positive or negative depending on your inquiry or how it's combined with other cards. But in a general sense, waiting and patience requires strength to wait for things to reach the necessary maturity to manifest. Analog energy, the Temperance card, plus the Strength card from the Tarot. "16. The Flag. In a positive sense, this card represents identity, legal matters, or raising a flag in a situation. Claim what is yours. It might be your perception or conflict with what you think it's right or wrong. You're concerned about what you feel is fair or unfair, right or deserved. Alternatively, it may reflect rules, regulations, or promises that you and someone else have agreed to. The feeling that the rules must be followed fairly. In a negative sense, it might represent breaking the law, unfulfilled promises, or breaking with discipline. Not doing what you know should be done. It's arrogantly believing that you can get away with something bad. Analog energy, the Justice card, plus the Judgment card from the Tarot. "17. The Bandolon. The bandolon is a 6-string instrument with which melodies are played. It represents fun, parties, joy, and celebrations. Analog energy, the 3 of Cups, or the 4 of Wands cards from the Tarot. "18. The Villancello. It represents nostalgia, sadness, longing, or melancholic memories. This card can also represent you being interested in others by giving them sympathy or caring about their problems. In a negative sense, this card can represent self-pity or depression that reflects the lack of faith in oneself or a situation. It can represent your feelings that you have lost hope or confidence on someone or something. Analog energy, the 5 of Cups, plus the 6 of Cups card inverted from the Tarot. "19. The Heron. Herons symbolize balance and stability, self-reliance, tact, wisdom, and knowledge. These birds are perceptive. They are fast flyers and can do just as well on land as they do on water. They can stand on one leg for hours without getting tired, symbolizing their mastery of balance. It is the balance of the mind that can make the balance of the body possible. And since they have achieved inner stability, they show it in the physical world as well. Their keen eyesight, focused awareness, and ability to fly higher than a lot of other birds give them a bigger picture and perspective. Analog energy, the Temperance card, plus the Strength card, plus the 2 of Pentacles cards from the Tarot. "20. The Bird. The symbol of birds deal in conversation and chatter. It represents some mental and physical energy, conversations, speeches, meetings, interviews, and a lot of energy and agitation. But they can also represent nervousness, intrigue, tension, being overstimulated, or going on a rampage. Birds sometimes suggest that our nervous system is high and that we are always on the alert or feeling skittish. They can represent difficulties in staying calm. It may be an indication that because we're always on guard, constantly trying to see where the danger lurks, we can't relax. In other words, birds represent not only excitement and hustle, but also nervousness and stress. Analog energy, the Birds card from Lenormand. '21. The Hand. In a positive sense, it represents work, control, help, that the world is in your hands, strength, power, and protection, as well as generosity, hospitality, and stability, and the act of shaking hands symbolizes both greeting and friendship. It represents capacity, competence, and the ability to do what you want, the ability to execute certain behaviors or abilities on their own, the capacity to manifest your choices. In a negative sense, it can represent theft, forces working against you, not being able to do something you want or have something that you feel you deserve, a reflection of something that makes you feel limited or lost, feeling diminished or powerless and not being able to do something about it. Analog energy, all the Aces cards, plus the Magician cards from the Tarot. '22. The Boot. A boot represents a bold stance or a strong stance of yours or some area of your life. It represents the potential to do what you want and not give up on anything, going ahead in spite of all objections or oppositions. In a negative sense, boots can reflect situations where they kick you down or make you feel passed over. Also consider that in Middle Eastern cultures, footwear generally has a connotation of something dirty or humiliating. Analog energy, the Emperor card from the Tarot. 23. The Moon. In a positive sense, the moon is a female symbol universally representing the rhythm of time as it embodies cycles. The phases of the moon symbolize immortality and eternity, the illumination of the dark side of nature itself. In a negative sense, the moon can reflect chaos, madness, or worsening of problems, feeling that a situation is out of control or that something dangerous is getting out of hand. A delusion, a difficult period, fear, hidden things, insecurity, and mental confusion. Analog energy, the Moon card from the Tarot, or the Moon card from Lenormand. '24. The Parrot. In a positive sense, it might represent arrival of news, communication, or announcements. In a neutral sense, it might represent repeating what you've heard to others, or just talking without thinking things through. In a more negative sense, it might represent just gossip, intrigue, reckless talk, giving the foolish advice under the illusion that it's a good one, not thinking for yourself, or never experiencing something for yourself while believing that you're smarter than someone else. Analog energy, the Birds card from Lenormand, plus the inverted card of the Fool from the Tarot. 25. The Drunk. This card represents addiction, cloudness of senses, suffering from a physical and mental alteration, and intoxication. It's related to vices, but also temporary states such as excitement or even being trapped by something or someone. A person can, for example, be intoxicated or drunk with love, pride, etc., while these feelings overwhelm them. Even in an abstract sense, being drunk refers to a person who desires something with negative greed. In a general sense, it symbolizes excesses. Analog energy, the inverted card of the Ace of Cups, plus the inverted card of the Fool from the Tarot. 26. El Negrito. I love this card because of the story behind it. It so happened that in the 18th century there was a population of African slaves who came from the Congo and lived in the towns of Veracruz and Puebla. In one of these towns, a character was born who was a descendant of slaves born in Mexican soil. His name was Jose Vasconcelos. He was a unique character who was greatly admired for having the ability to rhyme everything he spoke. He was born free, but his talent and artistry earned him the admiration of all who knew him. His clothing in this card is illustrated in the image of the 30s of the 20th century. That is why the image of El Negrito is one of a character that is talkative and very cheerful in nature. All this with respect. This card represents joy, taking life with humor, and sometimes not taking things very seriously, but looking for the bright side, the happy and funny side of everything, trying to find the good side of everything. Analog energy, the Magician card, plus the Page of Cups card from the Tarot. '27. The Heart. In a positive sense, it represents love, affection, feelings, and your inner voice. But even beyond love and feelings, the heart is the supreme consciousness, the pure self within, which houses the essence of who you really are. It is the spiritual part of us and where our desires dwell. The human heart represents the ability to care for or to love others. It can also reflect unconditional love or understanding. In a negative sense, it can represent hatred, pain, anguish, sadness, and all those feelings and emotions that emerge from a broken heart. Analog energy, the Heart card from Lenormand, or the Three of Swords card from the Tarot. '28. The Watermelon. Watermelons are a symbol of life, love, abundance, and fertility. This image in the Mexican lottery means that no matter how hard something or someone seems to be, there's always a parallel, equally sensitive and receptive side. Analog energy, the Strength card from the Tarot, plus the Lilies card from Lenormand. 29. The Drum. It symbolizes manifestation through the power of words in accordance to the rhythm of the universe. The drum is the symbol of sound, which evokes the sound of the heartbeat. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Therefore, from your heart emanates the word that forms action and manifestation. Manifest and take action in the direction you want the universe to guide you and open paths for you. Analog energy, the Magician card from the Tarot, plus the Crossroads card from Lenormand. 30. The Shrimp. Shrimps have always symbolized good fortune and progress, not because it's a symbol of luxury by eating it, but because shrimps are a symbol of longevity and renewal. The concept of fertility is one that is associated with a shrimp. A female shrimp can lay between 1,500 to 14,000 eggs at a time. Shrimp eyes have a unique ability to see polarized light, something rare in humans. They use the light for navigation, helping them to keep away from predators. If we translate this in a spiritual sense, seeing beyond the normal surface of things is a spiritual gift. Like many aquatic animals, shrimp prefer swimming in schools. Within the school's structure, communication takes place. Shrimps snap and click, not only for socialization, but to intimidate perceived threats. On a negative sense, the saying in Spanish, "Camarón que se duerme se lo lleva la corriente," which in English means, "the shrimp that falls asleep is carried away by the current," reflects the negative consequences of laziness. Life is like a sea current, unstable and strong. If you fall asleep like a shrimp and are too lazy to move or not do something, you will be swept away by the current of life. Analog energy, the Nine of Pentacles card, plus the Empress card from the Tarot. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. And click the subscribe button for more future videos about tarot, divination, and other esoteric topics. Las Jarras. Arrows represent the energy directed towards a goal or action to achieve something, or the attempt to reach a goal that you have set for yourself. But these two arrows are in different directions and tied. To me, this card represents a conflict of opposing options in different directions. Analog energy, the reversed Two of Swords card from the Tarot, plus the Crossroads card from Lenormand. 32. The Musician. This is a neutral card. The image of the musician represents the ability to manipulate emotions, getting others to feel what you want at the time you want, being good at controlling the moods or feelings of others. We have all experienced how a melody can lift us up or bring us down to feelings of sadness. This ability can be used for both good or evil. Analog energy, the Magician card, plus the Ace of Cups card from the Tarot. 33. The Spider. This card is a positive card. The spider has symbolized patience and persistence for its hunting technique of spinning webs and waiting for its prey to be caught. Countless cultures attribute the spider's ability to weave webs to the origin of spinning, textile weaving, basket weaving, knotting, and netting. The meaning and symbolism of the spider includes art, manifestation, patience, feminine power, ancient wisdom, illusion, balance, and interconnectedness. Analog energy, the Eight of Pentacles card, plus the Ten of Wands card from the Tarot. 34. The Soldier. In a positive sense, the symbolism of the soldier has tremendous relevance in terms of motivation, sacrifice, sense of duty, discipline, honor, and loyalty. In a negative sense, it can represent violence, aggressiveness, and cruelty. Analog energy, the Eight of Pentacles, plus the Knight of Swords cards from the Tarot. 35. The Star. The Star card symbolizes everything related to enlightenment and vision of the future. It represents inspiration, creativity, renewal, hope, or changes. It can also represent the search for new ideas. Analog energy, the Star card from the Tarot, or the Star card from Lenormand. 36. The Pot. It represents that situations are brewing or something is about to happen. Analog energy, the Wheel of Fortune card from the Tarot. 37. The World. As we can see in this figure, a man appears carrying the world on his back. This is a young titan who was condemned by Zeus to carry a planet on his shoulders. This card represents a sense of inner balance and deeper understanding. It's the most explicit representation that you had the world in your hands. It can also be an indication of future trips. In a negative sense, it might represent that you're handling more load than you can carry in this moment. Analog energy, the World card, plus the Two of Wands card from the Tarot. 38. The Indian. It represents a spiritual guide. This Indian uses rituals and symbols of supernatural or magic origin to search for spiritual values reflected in the great mirror of nature and applies them with great strength, courage, and intelligence in his daily life. This energy is a guidance within you. It represents the combination of combative and stoic heroism and spiritual development due to its close contact with nature. Analog energy, the Hierophant card from the Tarot. 39. The Nopal. To me, in a positive sense, it represents defending oneself from external forces. The nopal has thorns that allow it to be protected from predators, but it can also be eaten. It depends on the context. It's eat or being eaten. Analog energy, the Seven of Wands card from the Tarot. 40. The Scorpion. The symbol of the scorpion can mean many things, including intelligence, independence, loneliness, passion, protection, and transformation, rebirth, death, disease, lust, fertility, and power. It is widely known that scorpions have deadly venom that can kill humans. They are also believed to have the ability to cure someone who is about to die. The scorpion's stinger is used as a hunting, defense, and protection weapon. They also represent that you have the power to protect yourself. This creature has both positive and negative symbolism, and its meaning depends on the situation. Scorpion bites can be poisonous, but the image of the scorpion acts as a spiritual guide that teaches you to recognize your tendencies and know how to manage them so they work in your favor. It also teaches us to be brave and face failure, turn our weaknesses into strengths, learn from our past mistakes, transform our pain and negativity into something positive. Analog energy, the Death card, plus the Strength card from the Tarot. 41. The Rose. The image of the rose can symbolize love, psychic powers, luck, protection, healing, and divinity. In addition to its medicinal and cosmetic properties, numerous magical properties have been attributed to the rose. A rose can represent love and respect. The image of the rose shows the affection you have towards a person. Analog energy, the Bouquet card from Lenormand. 42. The Skull. This image is related to illness, although it's not always a warning that something is about to happen, since it's also associated as a symbol of danger or as an indication on the label of a toxic substance. As such, it's a symbol of consciousness, life and death, time, rebellion, and freedom, as well as alchemy and immortality. This is a symbol of our own consciousness. Therefore, the skull is at the same time a symbol of the search for life. Analog energy, the Death card reversed, plus the Scythe card from Lenormand. 43. The Bell. The bell is a signal that informs you of something. The start or end of an event, an emergency, a wake-up call, or to draw attention before making an announcement. But in an esoteric context, the bell is the voice of the divine. Analog energy, the Judgment card from the Tarot, plus the Letter card from Lenormand. 44. The Pitcher. This pitcher is a small clay pot. To me, this is a symbol of being a vessel. The pitcher can receive, be filled, and overflow with something. This pitcher is made of clay. One of the best known features of potteries is that they were brittle. That is, easy to chip or crack. Therefore, to me, this is synonymous to human fragility. But within our fragility, we are capable of containing the greatest treasures. Analog energy, the Ace of Cups card from the Tarot. 45. The Deer. The deer is an animal to which different powers and capacities have been attributed, some which seem to be contradictory, although in reality they respond to its way of being. In fact, many times, deers have to be strong in its natural habitat, but it's also a calm animal, and we see an interconnection of the masculine and feminine energies. Analog energy, the Empress card, plus the Emperor card, plus the Temperance card from the Tarot. 46. The Sun. To everyone, it represents a new dawn to begin, a new time to correct yesterday's mistakes and repeat the good ones. The Sun is the center of the solar system, and all planets gravitate around it in harmonious motion. We must imprint this harmonious movement of the planets around the Sun in our own selves. Like this, we have to find the center within us, the center of our spirit. The Sun is fire and light, heat and radiance, love and intelligence. But this card asks you, what aspect of the Sun applies to your reading? The light that illuminates with clarity and warmth all the dark corners of your consciousness, or the Sun, to which exposed can blind and burn you to death. Analog energy, the Sun card from the Tarot, or the Sun card from Lenormand. 47. The Crown. The crown represents success, triumph, or realizing that you are the most important thing, believing that your needs or wants are in fact a priority. However, in a negative context, the opposite is also true. The crown can be a symbolism of submission. It can reflect an arrogant need for total control or difficulty relinquishing some form of power. Feelings about someone who controls your life, who is tyrannical or impossible to deal with. Feeling that something is challenging your leadership. It's imposing control over others. You or someone else is too assertive. Thinking that you are too important or the most important thing in a situation can have a negative meaning as well. This can also represent feeling intimidated by a dominant person. Analog energy, the Six of Wands card from the Tarot, in either direction depending on the situation. 48. The Chalupa. The Chalupa represents your feeling of calm and adaptability while navigating uncertainty or negative situations. It represents self-determination in facing change and life's challenges. This can represent that you're emotionally balanced, that you feel powerful, in control, facing your problems with mastery, or choosing the best way to deal with a dire situation on your own terms. In a negative sense, it can represent abandonment or neglect of your self-determination during an uncertain or negative situation. You may feel unable to easily navigate uncertainty in your life or deal with problems in your own terms. Analog energy, the Eight of Wands card, plus the Chariot card from the Tarot, or the Lenormand card of the Ship, or the inverted Six of Swords card from the Tarot. 49. The Pine. Evergreen trees often symbolize immortality and eternal life because they keep their leaves strong and green throughout the winter. To Native Americans, they represent wisdom and longevity. For other cultures, they represent fertility and life. Some species of pine trees in North America can live up to 4,000 years. Pines are very resistant trees that can grow in the most difficult terrain. They can exist in extreme climates and remain evergreen throughout winter. You will also usually find pine trees in mountains, rocky, windy, and cold areas. For any normal tree species, that terrain can be devastating. To survive in the harshest conditions, one must evolve and find the best and most efficient use of each nearby resource. You can also apply the same ideology to succeed. Even with scarce resources, you can always improve by learning to make better use of the things around you. Analog energy, the Tree card from Lenormand. 50. The Fish. To me, this card has a negative connotation, and I'll tell you why. The fish has a direct connection to water, so the symbolism of water influences that of the fish. The fish is one of the most important symbols. Many ancient cultures consider it sacred and deprive themselves eating it as a food due to its relationship with the sea. To the Babylonians, Phoenicians, Assyrians, and Chinese, the fish was a symbol of fertility due to the abundance of eggs it lays. The symbolism of the fish later acquired a spiritual meaning. In general, we see that ideas or dreams about catching a fish are generally a positive symbol. They point towards fortune, wealth, and success. In English, we use the word fish for the animal, either it's alive or dead. But in Spanish, there's two different words used for whether it's alive or dead, free or caught. One is pez, which means a fish that is alive or free, or pescado, which is the fish that is caught or is dead. Pescado is the fish whose life has been cut off, which has been preyed upon something external. Something has captured it. Therefore, the fish, to me in this context, symbolizes death, lack of progress, missed opportunities, and avoidance, among other things. Also, the imagery of a fish that has been taken out of the water can mean feeling uncomfortable with a situation, feeling like a fish out of the water. Also, to me, catching a dead fish symbolizes death of your creative abilities or ideas. Analog energy, the fish card plus the scythe card from Lenormand. '51. The palm tree. There is a spiritual meaning to learn from a palm tree. A palm tree takes years to reach maturity. During this period, other trees will have grown. However, it becomes an inspiration for its strength and tenacity to withstand the wind. In a spiritual sense, take the imagery of the palm tree as a token of encouragement from the universe. Whenever you receive the image of the palm tree, one of the things you should learn is the power of patience. The symbolism of the palm tree will teach you to be patient with the process of your life. This is a good way to put down deep roots, become stronger, and be an inspiration for others to follow. Analog energy, the tree card from Lenormand, plus the strength card from the tarot. '52. The flower pot. A flower pot, as we know it, is where we grow plants and therefore, to me, represents the positive circumstances that promotes the growth of things or situations. Analog energy, the Empress card, plus the Seven of Pentacles card from the tarot. '53. The harp. The harp was the instrument played by the Greek gods and appears in almost all cultures. This is the instrument most used by angels, the divine army. That is why angels with harps symbolize praise and harmony. Also, in other cultures, the harp was the instrument used by the gods to lure their listeners to sleep. The imagery of the harp in this card symbolizes harmony. This harmony can be between this world and the other, between the earthly world and the spiritual world. The harp symbolizes the link between heaven and earth. Its chords are symbolic of steps of a ladder that indicate the direction towards eternal life. To me, the essence of this card is harmony, and as above, so below. This is manifestation and balance. Analog energy, the Temperance card, plus the Star card, plus the Magician card from the tarot. '54. The Frog. The last card of the Mexican lottery is the frog and its number 54. In ancient times, when people could hear the frog sing, they took it as a symbol of hope because of the rain that will come later after the frog sings. Therefore, the frog is a representation of prosperity and hope. But this prosperity comes from the power of adaptation and evolution. The frog is one of the most metamorphic animals known. This animal begins its life as a small fish, a tadpole, and finally ends up becoming a frog that can even be terrestrial and aquatic at the same time. Additionally, the frog has been a symbol of fertility due to the large number of eggs it's capable of laying. Analog energy, the Star card, plus the Death card, plus the Empress card from the tarot. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and share it with someone who might benefit from it.
and click the subscribe button for more future videos about tarot, divination, and other esoteric topics.